Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here at the fundraiser booth here at the coaching clinic. Now I get to sit down with a good friend of mine, head football coach of the Bunkie Panthers, Coach Jimmy Hillman. Coach, what's going on, my man?
Man, not too much. Glad to be back. The clinic's always a good time to, you're big into your summer workouts and all that, but getting here, seeing everybody, seeing all the coaches, listening to speakers, just kind of let you know, like, it's here. Football season's here.
What really stood out to you so far today, getting to listen to a few faces?
Really liked, obviously, Edo. I walked in from lunch, and he was kind of walking in the door. And it probably took him about 35 minutes to make it to his spot to present. Just talking, he stopped and talked to everybody, shook hands. I shook his hand, and then of course, he gets in there talking about defensive line play, and gets a coach up in the front row and starts yanking them around and showing them different things. So it was cool to see that. There's some good things there, and then. Their quarterback coach, LSU's quarterback coach this morning, Dan Stevens, he had some good things too from an RPO standpoint, which we do a little bit of that, so it was good to see that.
Speaking of defensive lines, you got a guy that's having quite an off season, quite a summer,
yeah.
And want to speak about one of your defensive linemen that's really blowing up this off season.
Yeah, Mitchell Couillon. No, he's had a great summer. This process kind of started really, going towards after his sophomore season, but going into this summer, we kind of made a game plan of if he wanted to make it happen, what he had to do, and some of the things that he needed to go out and do, and they've done it, man. He's traveled all over, put himself out there at camps, on Twitter, on Instagram, all that, doing everything he can to be seen, and it's starting to pay off now. He picked up a couple offers on Saturday, and I think he's got a few out-of-state ones too. So, no, really excited for him, and he's a guy that's kind of grown through our program, and we're looking forward to a good senior season out of him.
Is there anything that you really emphasized more on this offseason now that you've been at Bunkie a couple years now and you've seen some different things along the way?
Man, there's always new things that you're going to try to tweak and see if we can get better. We a big thing for us last year was we kind of changed our practice schedule, and then going to this off season, got to listen to the head coach of Catholic Baton Rouge at Superdome talking a clinic about how they progressed through our off season. We were a big component of just of course we got a lot of guys that play multiple sports, so in the off season, they're focusing on that, and then they we kind of get them when we can. But I had about 40 to 45 guys that only play football or football and track, so I just get them more. And we used to January, all the way through Mardi Gras was just weights and running. That's all we did. We didn't focus. We put the footballs away. We didn't mess with them. Like we just focused on the weight room, and we kind of changed that a little bit. So we've really been doing drill work, doing some football stuff in mid-January and February, So I really feel like in the summer right now, it kind of feels like we've been doing it for a while, but the guys just have gotten so many more reps that just base drills and things that we do. I really like where we're at right now.
The last couple of years, you've had some great senior classes that come through, that graduated. Another one this past year. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about some of those guys that were a little bit younger that could emerge on the scene, or we're going to see a lot this coming fall.
Yeah, look, I'm really excited about the team that we got because a lot of those quote-unquote household names are gone now, and we've got some guys. We've got some skill guys in particular. We return a good bit up front on both sides, but we're replacing a lot of skill guys. Obviously, Zion Lee, Ron Patterson, Lucas Mose, Luke Norman. We've got Kane Milligan. We got so many the skill guys that you've just been hearing their names so much over this little run that we've got some JV guys, some juniors and sophomores who have really had time to develop and just kind of focus on their game and get better through our program that the world don't really know them yet. They don't really know their name yet, but we feel confident in what they can do. Keetron Watson was one. I know you've seen him in action. Xavier Stafford, a receiver for us, he's had a phenomenal offseason. Carter Bro is another guy that can do a lot of things for us. So we're gonna have some new guys with the football in their hand making plays, and it's kind of exciting time for me right now knowing what our program's about and how we've tried to develop these kids. And now it's like, all right, people are really going to see some guys that they really didn't know about kind of jump out onto the scene.
How about your staff? I know you have some guys here today.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about what that group looks like going into this year. I know for the most part you've kept most of those guys intact, right?
Yeah, kept most of the staff intact. Brought in 2 new guys this year, both young coaches. We like to get young coaches. They don't really know everything just yet, but they love ball and they're ready to work. Coach Christian Frederick will be working with our defensive line. Coach Will Hemphill with our offensive line. Most of the rest of the staff returns. We've got a good group. They've all kind of been with me. Well, most of them were here before I got to Bunkie, but over the last 3 years, we've kind of learned how to work together, and they know my expectations. I kind of know theirs and stuff, and we've got a really good group. I think in our meetings when we talk and sit down as a staff, those meetings that used to last an hour and a half are 15 minutes now because we just know we're in a rhythm, in a groove of what we need to do, and the staff does a great job of doing that.
Saw this schedule and fell in love with it. What did you like about it? Uh, Tested early.
Yeah.
District's good. What do you like about this 2026 schedule?
Now look, I'll give you a little insight into the thought process here, man. But in my 3 years here, we've gone 9-1 in the regular season twice. Got a bye, and then got beat in the second round. To teams that I feel like were better than us at the time, but maybe we just weren't really ready for that level of competition in the postseason. The drives get shorter. The possessions lighten and stuff. So we just really felt, and I felt that we needed to elevate the schedule, get some teams on there that we know are going to test us early on, and teams that are doing the things that we want to do. I mean, we want to be a team and a program that's going to be, Thanksgiving week, playing on Turkey week, make a run. There's so many things that have to happen and go in your favor to make that run, but that's the kind of company we want to be in. So I sat down with our leadership group. We were making the schedule, and I was like, guys, this is kind of what I'm thinking. Like, what do y'all think? And they were all 100% in agreement. Like, if we're gonna play these teams, and of course, Select Division III is a gauntlet to say the least. So if we're gonna be in the conversation with these teams, like, we've got to play this type of competition. So Calvary Baptist is obviously the headliner there. Kinder's going to be really good again this year. Really excited about Washita Christian. Selfishly as a coach, 2 of the coaches that I'm going to coach against, this fall are on the top 10 list in wins in the state of Louisiana. So, it's going to be a good one. And of course, when we get to district, you got Gina, you got Marksville. We're going to have some great competition. So we're excited about it.
What are you most excited for from now until the start of the season? Because everyone's excited for the season, but I know you love the grind.
Yeah, no, look, I just want to see these guys get better, man, and we've grown. The big thing we've talked about, throughout this offseason is obviously, earn. It's been our motto. We have a team motto every year. We feel confident with what we've done over the last 3 years that when people talk about Bunkie, when they see us, when they know that we're somewhere, we get a lot of respect from things that we've done, and in particular things that guys that aren't here anymore have done. So we're looking to earn that respect. We're going to face some adversity with that schedule, with a lot of new starters. Adversity is going to come. What our guys are going to do and what type of team we have, when things aren't going our way, is what I'm excited to see, man. And that really just comes through growing through the heat, growing through the off season, through the summer. 7-on-7, all those things, and facing adversity together and watching the team grow. So that's really what I'm most excited about between now and scrimmage week, jamboree week, and all that, is just to see that development.
And I'll see y'all guys early this year, week 1 on the road. What about whenever everyone gets to the Grove in week 2? Some new things at the Grove that they should be getting ready to see, right?
Yeah, well, look, we've got a lot of facility improvements. I was talking with our Panther Club president Sunday, actually. And, since I've been here, we work into our budget every year, one type of improvement that we want to do. And I did my one for the year, and then about 4 other groups got involved in it, and I feel like we've got about 10 years of renovations all happening in the same 6 months. So the Grove got a big facelift. I'm really excited about that. Press box is currently gutted right now. It's going to be completely redone. We have a brand new scoreboard. That'll probably be up this week. Front entrance to the stadium's being redone. I mean, we got a lot of things happening. So,
it's
going to be great. We got Eunice week 1 on the road. It's going to be a tough opponent. Coach VJ, I met him a few years ago, actually at a clinic, and that's kind of where this started. And then we got a game going. I know they're going to be a good physical bunch. So, We're hoping to get a win there and get back home 1-0 and have a lot of the eyes in the state turn that way. Obviously for Calvary and what they have done and what they're looking to do this season, we know the level that they're on, and we really, for us, and I told our guys, it's not so much something that we've got to be nervous about. Like that's where we want to get. Where they're at's where we want to be. We're just trying to stack ourselves up. So we're going to get out there and give it our all and see how close we are to a program like that.
Coach, enjoy the rest of the clinic. It's always a pleasure to see you, my friend.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything. I'll see you early.
Yes, sir.
We're getting close. Less than 50 days. I'll see you week 1, my friend.
That's it, man. Yep. Thank you, George.
All right, my brother. Head football coach of the Bunkie Panthers, Coach Jimmy Hillman. Kind enough to stop on by the booth, talk a little bit about his program. We'll step away, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here at the coaching clinic here in Baton Rouge at the Fundraising University booth. Sitting with me now are the national championship head coach right here in Louisiana from the Calvary Baptist, head softball coach, Coach Tiffany Wood. Coach, what an honor to sit here with you this afternoon and talk about your program.
Well, thank you. I'm excited to be here, and thanks for having me.
Yes, ma'am. First off, they say the national championship, I'm sure that was an incredible thing right there. Talk to me about whenever that announcement was made and just sitting there with your players, your coaching staff, and administration, school. How cool of a moment that was.
Yeah, it's been so exciting. We knew for a couple weeks that we were sitting at one. It just wasn't finalized. There were schools across the nation still playing, and so when that came out, and it was overwhelming. We've had so much excitement from the school, from players, parents. My first call was to my dad to let him know that we had finally clinched it. He started crying. So just an exciting moment to see all that come to light.
And you talk about a great staff has been in play, and you could talk about your staff a little bit here, if that's okay with you.
Yes.
The staff here, y'all been together for a while now, or is it something that over the years you've seen some new faces?
No, we have. I have 3 assistants. Jessica Gann has been our newest addition, and she's been with us about 5 years. She's been a great addition. Younger, good on the mental side with the kids. And then Harold Johnson has been with me about 10 years, 11 years. His daughter actually played at Calvary, and he's just stuck around. He's loved it. He loves me and my dad, a good supporter and friend of ours, and so he's been there with us. And then my dad has been my assistant coach. He came. I just finished year 15, and so he's been with me about 13 years now.
Okay.
Just pours his heart and soul into our program, and is just a huge piece of our program.
So one loss last year, correct? Talk to me about when that moment happened. Was it kind of like a reset, refocus type of deal going into y'all playoff run, to y'all state title run?
Yeah, I mean, I won't lie, I was a little ticked for a little while. I got to do the, drive back home, just reflect on it, type of thing. And then the next day, it was kind of like you could take a deep breath, though. Like, okay, so we have one loss, and it really doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Didn't define our season, nothing like that. I think we were a little tense going into that game, knowing it's good competition, could be an opportunity to, if we win it, go undefeated. And then since we didn't, it was just relaxing a little, and then regroup the next day. And we talked about not having to be perfect. And after that game, we just didn't look back.
This senior class that just exited from Calvary Baptist, speak a little bit about them and what they've meant to the program over the years that you got to coach.
Yeah, absolutely. I had 4 total. 2 were managers, and then 2, Kenzie Anderson and Abby Sims. They've been a part of our program since the 7th grade, and that's just a unique thing that not a lot of people get to do. Most of the time it's 4 years. They've been a part of all 6 of the back-to-back or in a row state championships, and so they have meant a lot to the program. They've set the standard for the program, and they've given a lot to us.
When you go in, you win state titles, and you're coming off of a national championship. How do you keep the focus and keep the girls that are in the locker room getting from being, I guess the word would be complacent, and just keep working and working and working? How do you keep that same level-headed focus?
It's just the culture that we've built. I mean, every kid comes in, every team comes in, and they want to keep that standard. They don't want to lose it, and they know that it comes with hard work. I have encouraged all of our kids to enjoy it. It was announced later in the summer, so we've kind of been all over the place, kids playing travel ball, working hard for the next year. Just take a moment to enjoy what we accomplished this year. But they do a good job of knowing that it's not just handed to us just because we're Calvary, and that we got to continue to work hard.
The group that is coming back next year, can you speak about some of those key leaders that you're going to rely on once we get to the spring?
Yes, absolutely. I have a group of 5 seniors that have been with us. We have a lot of my infield. My catcher, Mallory Carver, has been with us since the 7th grade, starting along with Carly Gile, been a starter since the 7th grade. Amelia Baines at first base, Lauren Civils at third base, and Reese Walker in center field. So a lot of leadership in that group, a lot of great personality, kids that they know how to win, they know how to compete, and I think that's going to be huge. Replacing Kinsey in the circle, they've been used to her pitching. We have got we have 4 good young pitchers coming up that are eager for their opportunity, have been working hard, and I think with that leadership around them, it's going to be a great dynamic.
So when you win as much as you have in the last 14 years, coming to a clinic like this week and all the clinics that you've come to over the years, what are you looking for to better your program? Is it just a small little details?
Yeah, I'm always looking for at least 1 to 2 things that I can take back and do. We had our softball talk today. We had Ashley Hicks, who coaches at South Panola, Mississippi, Alex Franklin, who's current player at LSU, and I was able to get 2 or 3 things from their talk, mental things, different stuff. And just sometimes it's like, oh, hey, don't forget about that. Like maybe I used to do it and I don't do it, and it's really good. So just come in to try and learn a little bit, continue to grow our sport of softball.
When you're trying to create at practice or in the weight room or in anything, when you're trying to create competition, how would you say you gotten better at that, or even still try to do as we go into another season?
Yeah, just try to put them in game-like situations as much as we can. We want to, we want all the pressure to be on practice. We want to be in those tough situations. We want to fail at practice, so when it comes time for the games, we're succeeding. Doesn't seem, too fast-paced or anything like that for us. We continue to do that day in and day out with our practices and our schedules and things that we do. A lot of inner squatting. It gets harder when we're pretty good, and so you're like, oh gosh, what do you do now? So continue to find the little things, whether that's mentally or physically, that the kids buy into, and the fact that they've bought into all of it and continue to want to get better. It would be easy to stay complacent, but just to continue to keep up the practices that we do and to stay ready for each and every game.
You got any coaching mentors around that you would like to announce right now?
The biggest one's my dad. Greg Frazier, my assistant coach, my dad, he's by far the biggest mentor. We complement each other well. We butt heads well, but that's okay too. He is the first to tell me I've done a good job, and then he's the first to critique me. There's a lot of other coaches. I go to the NFCA clinic and try to learn from there, and then there's a lot of coaches in our state too that we bounce ideas off. Me and Amy Petrie from St. Amant today, we're talking about things and talking about stuff that we've done and things that we need to do different this year. And so to be able to bounce that off of colleagues and just get better little by little, I picked up stuff in that 30-second conversation from another championship program.
When I think about Calvary, I think about the passionate fan base that follows all the athletics over there. What can you speak about what you see on a day in, day out of when they follow this softball team?
Our support's huge, not just from the softball parents and players, from the school, our administration, and our superintendent. He's known for being loud and supportive, and he is. He's supportive in all ways, but our whole administration is. They support us, our fan base there. We're, in Shreveport, and being private, we have kids that live in different periods. So it's not a community, so to speak. It's not like being in Stonewall where there's 1 school or 2 schools. There's a lot of high schools, and to be in a city where there are a lot of high schools and still have the amount of support and recognition that we have means a lot.
Talk to you about the weight room wise. Is it something that y'all emphasize hard over the summer, or is there a lot of girls playing travel ball, or do y'all lift on game weeks, game days? What do y'all like to do?
So we do lift in June. July, they're off and encouraged to do a lot on their own. We start back in August. We'll start August 7th. We meet, and then we start practicing August 10th. So it's a full year thing. Have a ton of kids playing travel ball, so they're off doing that a lot right now. They're in Indiana and California this week. I had a kid who was home like 4 days in June. So it's just they play a lot. But as far as the weight room, when we start in August, we do workouts out at our field, and we do workouts that we can continue to do all throughout season. So we don't miss out on that strength. We don't lose that strength, and then we continue it through June.
What's one thing that your players do that may go unnoticed?
The work outside of practice. Everyone knows that we practice, we work hard, stuff like that. But I have kids that are putting in multiple hours outside of practice. I mean, they're coming out there, they're hitting on their own, they're putting in T work, they're working out on their own. A lot of people, think they just magically got there, but they don't see. I mean, I have a kid that we hit 4 times last week, and then she hit 3 more times on her own. So just working hard, just to prepare to go to this tournament in Indiana. But that's what she does all year long, and I have several of them that do that on a constant basis, not just hitting, but defensively, um, offensively, and weight training as well.
If they had a first year coach that is here at the clinic or will be going into their first year at a program, or something that you would tell them?
Set your standards, decide what the program is, what type of program you want, and know that it's not all going to be built in one year. Ours wasn't either. I'll never forget my first playoff win was against Bunkie. We were 17 seed. We went to Bunkie and we won, and John Curtis had to come to me as the number 1 seed, and my only goal was to not get run ruled, and we didn't. We won. They beat us 9-0. So my program's come so far, and everybody else's can too. You just got to keep working hard. But I think we want a lot of things all in one year, and culture's not built like that. Programs aren't built like that. You got to set a goal or two each year and keep going.
Close us out with some final words here this evening.
I thank y'all. I thank everybody. Thank you for letting me be on the show. Stuart for reaching out to us. LHSAA for hosting this convention. It's been a great turnout. Lots of coaches, lots of people. Young coaches just continue to get better. We want our kids to get better, and we want our kids to keep working day in and day out. And so, as coaches, we've got to do the same thing.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to have a conversation with you. And I can't wait to see what's in store in the 2027 season for Calvary Baptist. And for yourself, keep up the great work. A lot of us that are coaching high school softball really look up to what you've done at Calvary Baptist. So it was an honor to sit with you today.
Well, thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
That is Calvary Baptist head softball coach coming off of a state championship and a national championship. We'll step away, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here at the Coaching Clinic here in Baton Rouge at the Fundraising University booth. Now I get to sit down with about a couple Putbury alums at the table. But the guy that made his way to North Louisiana, and now he's an assistant coach at West Monroe High School, powerlifting. Congratulations on all your success, my man.
Thank you.
What's going on? What brings you down to the clinic today?
Well, I like coming down to the clinic. It's always a great time here. You get to, learn from different people, and if you're a student of the game, pick up some new things for the seasons that are up ahead. And also it helps that we have our rules meeting and business meeting for powerlifting tomorrow. So you get yourself prepped for the upcoming season.
Well, give us some outlook on powerlifting. Is it like state championships are hosted where? How do you even qualify for state? I mean, just the small details that an outsider like myself or someone that's listening right now may not be familiar with the sport.
Okay, so that's a great couple questions you got there. So as far as where it's being hosted this year, it is going to be hosted this year and next year in West Monroe at the new sports facility that we have out there by I-20. So we are going to be the hosts alongside Ruston High School and a couple others, if I'm not mistaken. As far as qualifying for it goes, so the way that it works, you have to have a team of 11. Not necessarily everybody's going to qualify 11, but you have to rank in the top 20 in the state in your weight class and division. So, for example, Port Barre High School, they are 2A, so they would be Division 4. So the way that would work, if I am in the top 20 in Division 4 in the super heavyweight class, I would get to go to the regional meet. If I am top 10 within those 20 people, I would then go on to the state meet for my weight class for my division. So only 10 people can qualify. Some weight classes and divisions don't have 10. Some have 10. It just depends on where you're at. 5A, it's stacked all the way up and down. We have 10 across the board. 2A, not necessarily. 1A, not necessarily. But the sport is growing every year as we speak.
And talk about growing. You've seen the girls also take off in the last 5 to 10 years also.
Absolutely, it is taken off a lot for the girls, and lots of girls are having a lot of success doing this sport, especially at the school that I coach at, West Monroe, as well. We do very well in both sports, but it has taken off with the girls a lot. The numbers, you can see it in the past 10 years. Whenever I was in high school, the state meet only lasted a couple days. Now it lasts 4 days.
Yeah.
It is a huge operation, and it is growing bigger every single year.
3 lifts in competition. I mean, we're trying to educate those that don't know about the sport but should. Give us those 3.
So those 3 lifts that you see in competition are going to be the squat, the bench press, and the deadlift. So there are standards that are different than what you might see in a weight room for a football team or a basketball team or a baseball team working out. We have different rules to follow. It may look a little different, but we follow those rules and lift to the competition standard. So usually those rules are a lot more strict. No hitching, no going down and up. The lifts have to not only be completed, but they have to be clean in the way that they are done. No fouls or penalties per se.
The biggest meet you ever attended was where?
I would say do you say personally or as a coach?
You can say both.
Personally, the biggest meet that I've ever attended, I lifted at Collegiate Nationals in 2022 with Louisiana Tech. That was the biggest meet that I had personally. As a coach, I would say every year it's the state meet. As far as where I felt like it was the biggest was my last year at Cedar Creek. That would have been in 2024 at the Cajun Dome. It felt like a huge arena compared to anything else that we had ever been to.
What about seasonal wise? When does powerlifting usually go? And I know you got to battle with other sports sometimes of trying to see if you power lift like a smaller school wise, like we would say Port Barre. Well, some of those powerlifters might be playing another sport. If they're at West Monroe, that might be the only thing they're doing, right?
So that's a great question as well. So whenever powerlifting started, the whole purpose of it was a lot of football coaches came together and they wanted to see how strong their football players were. So at the time, they shared the sport a lot more in seasons. So today, that's not necessarily the case depending on where you are. So, for example, whenever I worked at Cedar Creek, a lot of kids have to play a lot of sports and a lot of activities. So we
Right.
had kids that play football, basketball, baseball, powerlifting. You have to find a way to make it work. Our season, it lasts from generally around late November to mid-March, sometimes early April. It just depends. But in terms of the season, that's whenever it goes. Some kids do lift only in powerlifting. They will train year round, depending on what part of the year is, what part of equipment they use, and what kind of lifts they're doing, and etc. But in terms of people who play multiple sports, coaches just have to share and figure out the schedules and come together to make that work. So, like for example, West Monroe, a lot of our power lifters, they are football players. So if you're making a deep run in the playoffs,
Right.
you won't be able to really start your training until the football season ends. So like for us last year, we lost first week in November, second round of the playoffs. Um, so our season started a little earlier than we wanted it to, boys-wise, for those football kids. But for the ones who train year-round, it's constant. They go, 3-4 times a week all year long.
When we talk about the little details of a 2025 season, can you talk about the highs, lows, maybe state champions that were crowned? Give us some record breakers. Whatever you got on your sleeve right here, we want to hear about it.
Okay, well,
From 2025.
2025, West Monroe boys won the state championship.
Awesome.
Our girls were runner-up.
And was it a big margin of points that they won it by, or it was a tight race?
It was a big margin of points for our boys team. We won. I can't give you the exact number, but it was by definitely more than 10.
Okay.
Our girls team, we lost in a very close battle. We came in with one less lifter than we expected, and it was a three-way race till the end. We beat one team, and another team barely beat us. So it was, very close. We fought hard, but didn't come away with it. As far as all the other state champions, I know Cedar Creek swept 1A, Church Point swept 3A. As far as Division II goes, I want to say it was Episcopal on the boys' side and Darbone Woods on the girls' side. And then 4A, let's see, I want to say it was Lutcher for both as well.
Any individuals from West Monroe that you can remember offhand?
So Christian Pawnee won state. He didn't have as stellar of a day as we wanted him to, but hey, he's a state champion, so nobody can take that away. So we're very proud of him. Damian Sanders won as an individual state champion. Troy Smith won as an individual state champion, and we had multiple people place, second, third, and etc. So I may be missing a couple people in there, just going off the top of my head with it. So if y'all are watching, I'm sorry.
There you go. The head coach for powerlifting at West Monroe, what's his name?
So we actually have two head coaches, one for the boys team, one for the girls team.
Okay.
So for our boys team, the head coach is Newt Douglas. He's a very accomplished lifter himself and very seasoned head coach. And for our girls team is Obi Sims. He's a very accomplished coach. He's been around the game for a while. He's a very well-respected member of the LHSPLA. He's on the executive committee. He's one of the people who makes this entire organization grow. So I'm very happy to be able to work with both of those guys. They have a wealth of knowledge, and they're very good at what they do.
You walk into the weight room, and what is something that both of those guys, their first message of the day?
Talking about to the team or to me?
To the team.
Well, to the team, they basically instill in them that they know what their responsibilities are. They walk in through that door, it's, hey, we got to buckle down and get to work. You know what's ahead of you. You know that you have only X amount of time until the state meet, regional meet of the next year to get things going. Let's get to it.
How many competitions throughout the year we usually see before we even get to a regional or a state championship?
So the way that the schedule works, you have multiple weekends from late November all the way up until about February where your regional meet's going to happen. So I would say you'd have between probably about 12 to 15 weeks of competitions, exhibition-wise. where kids are going to get their qualifying numbers out there to try and get that ranking higher. Then you have, as we talked about, the regional meet. Then you have your state meet. So it's a pretty long season. Now kids aren't going to be lifting every weekend. It's not like football and baseball where you're playing twice a week, once a week. Um, Generally, the way that we try to schedule things out, if you're a kid that might make state, you'll lift 2 or 3 times. If you're a kid that will or won't, wherever you may fall in, each kid's going to get the same amount of meets all year long. So it just depends. And if they have injury, we work around that. But we try and get everybody an equal amount because especially in this sport, rest is one of the key components. So if we told a kid that every week they had to lift in a meet, it would wear them down very fast.
The recovery process after a grueling meet, how long does that usually last?
Well, I would say that at minimum a week, but usually it is longer. I mean, we're going to do things like active recovery. They might come in, do some light lifting, stretching, maybe walking around. But here's the big deal. If you can sleep, if you can eat, and you can drink water, you've already done most of what recovery is asked of you. But it's kind of hard to tell a high school kid sometimes, hey, hop off of the video game at night and go to bed at 8 o'clock so you can get enough sleep.
Yeah.
It's hard, but if they buy into it, it's not as difficult as it seems to be.
You living the dream?
Living the dream, absolutely.
Beautiful new facility just got built.
Yes, it is a very nice facility. I go out there some days and it's just like, wow, this thing's so huge.
Yeah. Keep up the great work, my friend. Right here, two guys from Port Barre. Look at us now at the coaching clinic,
Absolutely.
having a conversation about some powerlifting. Keep up the great work. I'm supporting you from back home.
Absolutely, and I wanted to tell you something before I hopped off as well. So I was telling this to Stuart earlier. I would not be in this chair right now if it wasn't for you.
Come on.
No lie. We were on the way back on a bus my freshman year from Northwest. We had just lost. It was the final game of the season.
Okay.
And the powerlifting team had started either a year or two before I got into high school. And you were a young assistant coach. And you told, it could have been me, it could have been a group of people. You said if you want to get stronger and you want to be better in football, go powerlift. I'd never heard of it. So I tried out for the team. I go and lift for the team. I end up really enjoying it. I keep playing football. I graduate. I go, man, coaching would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I would have never, ever discovered powerlifting if it wasn't for that one statement that you said.
Wow. Look at this now. That's awesome, brother. What a cool moment.
Absolutely.
What a cool moment. And I thank you for sitting with me today. I know you didn't have to, but you came represent West Monroe. We got to talk about some powerlifting, and it doesn't get enough spotlight. And here we are today. So thank you again.
Absolutely.
Safe travels home. Enjoy the rest of
No problem.
Enjoy the rest of the convention, my friend.
Thank you. Much appreciated, Jordy.
Assistant coach for West Monroe joining us, talking some powerlifting. Good friend of mine, and also a Port Barre alum, just like myself. Always a pleasure. Step away, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back right after this break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here, what we calling it, radio or the high school coaching clinic here at the fundraising university booth. Now I get to maybe close it down with one final coach here. We'll see if anybody else shows up, but if it is the last one, we got a good one, ladies and gentlemen. My good friend, Highland Baptist new head football coach, Coach Donald Fuselier. Coach, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Appreciate it, brother.
You need me to plug it for you? Coach, welcome.
Appreciate it.
All right, my friend, let's jump right into it. Long day here at the clinic. Saw some people that got to talk some good stuff today. You got to network with other coaches. Give us all the deets. Give us something that you will take from today and bring back to Highland Baptist.
I was able to see Coach Owen. Everybody loves his energy. So just having that energy about just working hard and just coming back to get stuff so you can actually take back to your staff. He did a lot of like D-line stuff, so it was like really, really, really cool.
So when did it become a reality where, okay, I'm ready to be a head football coach? When did that come into play?
Maybe about a year ago. Well, the good thing is that like I have really good mentors, so I've been
Yeah.
actually preparing myself for a while. So it wasn't if you stay on top of everything with like being organized and everything, that actually helps. And having good mentors is important. So um, just staying ahead of everything, being organized is the key, and I think it makes it a easier transition.
So transitioning to a school that starting to take football more seriously, how important was that during the hiring process, knowing that they're gonna take this serious, that they're giving me an opportunity here?
It was very important, and it's always good when you going where you celebrated and they have the resources at Highland, and it's a sleeping giant.
Anything that you can take away from last year's group that gets you excited for 2026?
Kids play hard. Just have to put them in position and teach them how to line up correctly, create that culture of toughness. Now it's amazing.
Okay. I know it's been a big emphasis of weight room, 7-on-7. Anything else that really has you wanted to harp on this off season that you got a chance to do with your team?
Just lining up correctly. Just working on just being better like athletically. So just teaching them that stuff, tackling, teaching them the proper way how to tackle.
Coach, let's talk about your staff that you're going to take in with you to the 2026 season. Is it guys that was already on the staff here at Highland? Some guys you brought over, or
I have some guys I brought over, and there were some guys that I kept some guys.
you got some names for me?
Yes, Coach Bo. He's the head baseball coach. He'll be he'll be coaching our running backs. Coach John McMill. Coach John, he'll be our wide receivers coach, and he'll be our middle school head coach. Coach Ed Dore, he's an assistant coach. He'll be helping with our middle school guys. Coach Brock Cooper, he's our defensive coordinator.
Okay.
I'm the offensive coordinator.
Okay. How about the schedule that's in front of you this year? Knowing there no district, no playoffs, but it's still very important where you can still accomplish a lot in these next 2 years.
Yes, sir. This first team is the most important team because they're the one that's getting started, and even like down the road, um, being able to like turn the program around, those kids they're still a part of that. So yeah, it's amazing.
How valuable is networking with other coaches at events like this?
Very, very. I was just talking to some guys in the Baton Rouge area, and just asking them different stuff, how they line up to different offenses, and talking ball and networking is key. More younger coaches need to do that.
You've come to these clinics as coordinators before. You come as a head coach. Is it a little bit different this time? Is it something where you come as a coordinator once, you come as a head coach now? Is it something that you're wanting to focus more on now that you do have the head coaching spot, or is it something? Is this it feels the same?
It feels the same to me. My whole thing is bringing something back valuable that we can use in our program. You're not gonna come in here and get because you have to have your own philosophy. But you come in, get some nuggets, learn how to do other things, talk ball with guys. They had the notebook. They were drawing up defenses and offenses, so it's pretty cool.
What's the identity of this year's team, or is it still being carved out?
Well, I think our true identity is whenever we get on the field. But we're gonna uh, we're gonna be heavy pass. We're gonna throw it around. Like you got to defend the pass.
What excites you the most about this upcoming season?
Just seeing those kids um, put the work, the kids that they came and put in the work from the spring and the summer, and getting to see that displayed on Thursdays and Friday nights. That's the biggest reward because that I believe in hard work. So getting to see that displayed and seeing where you come from, and now we're preaching a culture of toughness.
Quarterback here that's going to take the snaps in 2026. I know you're a big quarterback guy. Talk to me about his development since you stepped foot on campus.
Eli Segura has come a long way, and we meet and getting a having those film sessions. Those are very like valuable towards his development because sometimes when you're telling them stuff, they don't see it, but whenever they see it on film, you're able to go and correct it. And then now when they become really good is when they start like self-correcting on their own, and now they see, coach, hey, I need to speed up my drop. The ball got to come out my hand. I have to see your keys and get the ball, know what you're doing.
About some other leaders on this team that you'll be counting on in the fall.
Lane Cooper, Andrew Perry, he'll be our kicker, and our he's been our top receiver this summer.
Coach, how has coaching changed over the years in your opinion?
I think there's more younger guys now that are they want to be like head coaches and coordinators without like being like good position coaches. So I think it's important to have really good mentors, and you see more older guys at these things, and there needs to be more younger guys that are like networking and learning how to do things and just getting better. So I think that's the difference.
About fundamentals at practice. Talk to me about how it's very important not to get away from it.
Louisiana, we live in a beautiful state, but a lot of our kids are like super raw, and that's probably the reason why they go on to a lot of them go on to college and they continue to get better. They're not tapped out, but fundamentals is football is at the end of the day is going to be blocking and tackling, so fundamentals are important. Um, Actually, not like fussing at kids for stuff that you didn't even teach them. So fundamentals is very important.
How about creating competition, whether it's in the weight room, practice, through 7-on-7, any little thing before you even get to a Friday night, creating competition?
Competition goes very well, and you have to be competitive every day because that's how you're gonna gain the trust of your coaches. But just competing, you have to be a competitor. Football is a gladiator sport.
You a big multi-sport guy?
I am. I am. As a matter of fact, majority of college coaches aren't recruiting kids that are in multi-sport athletes. We have to get away from trying to like specialize in just one sport. Play multi-sports.
Coffee or energy drinks? Coffee or energy drinks?
None.
Neither. Favorite road trip snack on the bus?
Probably would be uh, Sour Patch Kids.
There you go. Favorite pregame meal? You've been around a lot of places.
Some type of pasta.
Pasta?
Yeah.
How about favorite speaker over the years that you got a chance to listen to at a coaching clinic?
I always like to hear Coach Bryce Brown. He's like a model citizen of how things are supposed to be. And I know sometimes people automatically think that hey, because you get a like an influx of talent, you still have to coach those kids. You still have to get those kids in position. So I always like talking to or hearing guys speak. Coach Bryce Brown, Coach Robert Valdez, those guys that come to mind that listening to them speak is really good.
Talk to me about the talent right there in the Acadiana area. You got the fourth quarter mentality, 7-on-7 group that competes in what is it nationwide or across the southern states. Talk to me about just the talent alone right there in the Acadian area and surrounding parts that even you brought together on that team this past year.
Yeah, so that was a big it was a big reason why I got into 7-on-7 at the time. Um, our area was like lacking exposure and just Malik Neighbors uh, was a guy on our very first team when we started out with just a 15U program, and 337 has so much influx of talent and like guys like Braylon Kale from
Yeah.
Cecilia, Javon Vital, who will be playing at Lake Charles College Prep, Cole Bergeron that's at Georgia Tech right now, Roderick Tezano from Opelousas Catholic. Um, a lot of kids think just because I play 1A ball, I can't make it, but that's not true.
Facts.
Most of the kids that you're playing against in high school, no matter what the class is, they're not playing college ball anyway. So you just have to dominate your competition, control the controllables. Character is big. Uh, Taking care of your grades. There's so many kids that mess up opportunities by not taking care of their grades. But the the 337 has an influx of talent. It's always been that way. It's just now it's schools that never really like traditionally recruited our area. They're coming, but they want Louisiana kids. Period, because they're tough.
Let's close things out today with you got the final words. Whatever you want to say about your program, your team, your staff, the community, whatever you want to say, the floor is yours.
Man, I appreciate the admin, the parents, the kids, my coaching staff at Highland Baptist. I appreciate shows like Under the Lights, JB, and them having these platforms for these kids. Mike Coppage, Shannon from the Advocate. Appreciate you guys for coming out and doing things for the kids. So I appreciate y'all.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. New head football coach right there at Highland Baptist. My good friend, Coach Donald Hughes. Larry, Coach, always a pleasure, my friend. Good to see you. Enjoy the rest of your week here at the clinic, and can't wait to see what happens in the fall whenever Highland Baptist is under your leadership.
Thank you, brother.
That was head football coach from Highland Baptist. We'll step away, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Jordan Taylor here at the coaching clinic in Baton Rouge at the Fundraising University booth. Joining me now, how about head basketball coach of the Lady Bearcats of Basile High School, Sam Bacon, kind enough to stop on in before he heads back to God's country.
That's right.
Coach, how you enjoying your day?
Enjoying it, man. Lots of good speakers. Just got back from learning from the General Will Wade in our last session. Um, you know, it's a good thing that the LHSA Coaches Association puts on for us to come and before we start our school year and get out and learn some new things.
What were some things that you took away from Coach Will Wade today?
The main thing was just what he learned after being away from coaching that 1 year. Uh, really like data, stats, changing his mindset to adapt to the game that they're, adapting to today's game in college basketball.
So you're going into what, year 2, year 3 as the head coach for the Lady Bearcats?
Yeah, this will be our actually it's year 4.
Year 4.
Year 4, and we'll have 4 seniors this year. We lost 2 seniors last year. We have a couple of juniors, sophomore, freshmen, and some 7th graders.
You talk about watching a program grow over the years. So from that first year to now, talk to me about just that growth mentality.
Man, it's night and day from when we started this 4 years ago. I took a group of kids and really had to go back to the basics, with them, and to see what they're doing now against teams of higher caliber, um, beating bigger schools, competing with state champion caliber teams. As we know, we're going into a new district this year, moving up to 2A.
Yeah.
So we'll be in the district with, Bell City, Midland, Lake Arthur, Kinder, Welsh, all those teams. That's all playoff caliber teams, and then not to mention 2 state championships.
You talk about the new district, and every time we talk, you talk about the off season where you guys are playing games over the summer. You're scheduling quality opponents. What goes into that thing? Is it a confidence thing, or is it something getting you want your team prepared?
It's just getting our team prepared to go into this new district. Bell City's been in the state championship the last several years. Same thing with Midland. And Lake Arthur's always going deep in Division 4 in the playoffs, and same thing with Kinder. So you have to be able to play and compete. And I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to face those teams. So, over the summer we played the month of June and played bigger schools, and to get our girls ready for this is what you're going to face. There's no running away from it. There's no hiding it. Like, you're going to have to face them, and just kind of show them like this is the style of play that we have to be accustomed to, not only playing and but also we have to learn how to defend it.
And when you coach high school football and you know when that basketball is at that back end of the season, Bearcats could go make a little noise in the playoffs. How's that work scheduling wise for yourself? Do you just schedule some games later on into December maybe, or late November, or what's your strategy when it comes to that, knowing that, hey, I could be on the sidelines on a Friday night and they need my full attention?
Correct. So the past couple of years, it was tough. Going from football, then we're going to basketball. Sometimes it would overlap, but fortunately this year, they pushed basketball season back till you can start Thanksgiving break. So I think Thanksgiving break, that's maybe what, the quarterfinal round of the
Quarterfinals.
football playoffs. So this year, this year is very different because, like I said, they did push the season back. So it's not as, it's not as much to think about. Focus on, the ending of the football season, and then you start basketball season. So it is. I'm kind of glad they pushed the season back.
That's it.
It benefits not only myself but teams that are kind of like us, that were coaches do double dip in various sports.
You got some people that are part of your staff or your one man show. What's it like for Basil? I know it's a small school, so limited on coaches.
For the several years, I've had CCP coaches that would come and volunteer their time, and I've been very fortunate to have some good ones to be a part of, and uh, it's always good to have an extra eye, extra hand. So no, it's not. It's definitely not a one man show.
When you talk about developing leaders, how's one of those titles earned at your program?
I just have to do the right things on and off the court, you know, and uh, and really focus on just having those leadership qualities, be able to face adversity, overcoming adversity, and you know, uh, just basically just doing the right things on and off the field, whether that's in the classroom, in the community, or on a game situation, practice situation.
How do you go about creating competition throughout practices or workouts or over the summer? How do you go about creating competition within your team?
I actually stole this from Coach Tracy over at Bell City. Picking two of your best ones and have them compete, pick teams, and doing really competition during drills and throughout the practice and keeping track of it. They do a very good job over at Bell City. I've watched several practices, and so I kind of stole that concept from them to create a more competitiveness in practice, and it has paid off.
It's one thing that you stopped doing over the years that you can say made you a better coach, whether it's football, basketball.
I guess so. Overthinking. I know a lot of coaches. We watch film for hours and well, I should have done this, should have done that. So just overthinking. Just go out and you call a play. Hey, let's run it. Doesn't work, you fix it. Uh, I think that's kind of what I just not overthinking everything.
You're a
Work
big
with it.
you're a big film guy. You like film.
Yeah, I know if my wife's listening, she can definitely agree with me. I'm after a basketball game, even after a football game, it doesn't matter. Uh, Even though you've dishwashed it, you know, and went through it, anxious to upload the film and see. And so yeah, I do believe I even our football players and our girls basketball players they enjoy to watch their film.
How different is it as a basketball coach knowing game prep wise for football could be a week long thing, but in basketball, hey, you might play two, three, four times in that week. So, how different is it in those two phases of the world of when it comes to game prep wise?
Like you said, like football, you have your one opponent on a Friday or a Thursday, so you just really focusing on them. Or in basketball, you may have 3 games, you may have 2 games. If you're in a tournament, you may go all the way to 4 games. So preparation, it's short, so you can't just really uh, you don't have time to just look at one opponent. You got to look at three. So it's tough, but you know you just have to adapt to however many games you have during that week, or it's a tournament. Sometimes, especially if you're playing a tournament, you may not get to watch film. You know, some teams may not have huddle or whatever, and you just may not have time to watch them. So it just all depends on that week, what you're looking forward to.
I'm sure. I'm sure you're getting pulled many different directions over the summer. How do you go about balancing everything where you have football that you're getting ready for, you got basketball games going on over the summer, your kids are playing sports all over. How do you go about balancing your whole schedule?
Oh man, that's crazy. But we do a good job of football. We're doing everything in the morning time. Basketball, we're mainly on 2 days, or sometimes 2 days a week in the afternoon. So it's not necessarily everything in the morning or everything in the afternoon. Just try to balancing out schedule wise for those things. Whether it's like Tuesday, Thursday, we're playing basketball. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, football in the morning time. And if that's kind of how, you know, talking about balance, even though, my kids have other things to do too. But we do stay on the road a lot. But we do a good job of putting stuff on certain days of the week at certain times.
Still trying to fill out a 2026, 2027 schedule for next year. Is it pretty much done? Some road trips you're excited about?
I think
Some new teams you're excited about playing?
the schedule's, I say, probably about 90% done. You never know going into a new school year with the turnover and transition of coaches. It happens. And a lot of those coaches, new coaches, may not want to play you. So there are some weeks we're still trying to fill, but for the most part, it's 90% filled. Uh, as far as we'll have some new teams. I mean, one stands out to me right now is St. Thomas More. I don't know when's the first time or last time that Basil's ever competed against St. Thomas More in anything, any athletics. So that's and we're going over there to the Cougar Dome. Lots of tradition, and you know, it's just a game that's gonna prepare us for our district. So looking at our schedule right off the top, that's a road trip I'm looking forward to.
Less than 50 days before the Bearcats football program take the field. What can you say about the new head football coach here at the program?
Coach Andrews has been doing a phenomenal job with the boys this summer in the weight room and installing his offense. The kids seem excited about it. Their attention to detail. He's brought in uh, some new things the kids never seen before. So it's exciting for them and for us. You know, we've we've been going twice, morning weight room and then afternoon weight room, and then we've been doing a lot more football stuff these last couple of weeks on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Really, drills and installing the offense, installing the defense. And you see some bright spots and some sight where the kids are flying around. Fast paced. You know, uh, Fast-paced style offense. Just fast-paced in practice. So it's exciting.
Final words. Close us out here today.
Appreciate everything y'all do, man, of covering high school athletics across the state. I know you guys stay busy during the football season and after football season, and appreciate you guys joining up with Fundraising University today to talk to coaches, and hopefully we get you at a game this year.
And whenever Basil comes down for softball this year, you need to come make the trip also.
That's true. That's true. I forget y'all. They got a return the trip in softball. So yeah, most definitely. I know we got you guys on the football schedule. Uh, I don't know if you got a game yet or not, but we'll hopefully get you one. And I promise you, I'll be at that softball game.
There you go.
Don't take it easy on us now.
My friend, Sam Bacon, always a pleasure. Thanks for coming to sit down with me. Enjoy the rest of your week here at the clinic, and then safe travels back home, my friend. I'm one phone call away.
All right, man. Appreciate it, Jordan.
Yes, sir. Was head Lady Bearcat basketball head coach Sam Bacon, kind enough to stop by, talk about his program. We'll step away, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Closing things out here at the coaching clinic on the Tuesday. Tomorrow, Fundraising University booth will be back here, which is 2425.
That's it. That's it.
So right here again tomorrow, you can stop by. Any coaches that are listening now or will listen later on in the day, stop on by, see the guys and the girls over here at Fundraising University. Have a conversation. Could change your program in a heartbeat. I got the man right here going to give us some final words. A great day it was. 19 coaches stopped by, talked about their programs from football, from girls basketball, from powerlifting, from baseball, and even softball. We saw a lot of great coaches and some great conversation today.
Yeah, absolutely. It was pretty exciting day. It seemed like it flew by, huh, Jordan?
That's it.
Yeah, it seemed like we just walked in this morning, and it was just one after another. Coach. Learning about the programs. Obviously, there's a lot of excitement going on this time of year with football, but I mean, all the coaches that you spoke with, all the way powerlifting, softball, they just want better for their programs.
That's it.
And they want to get their programs exposure. And whether you start in a program or you're at, you feel like you're at one of the best in the state, you want to continue to improve it. And, that's one of the things that we take pride in, is that we're here to serve coaches. We're here to handle the fundraising part for the coaches. And we have a system that we can raise a ton of money in just 7 to 10 days. And that way the coaches can get the resources they need to provide all the opportunities to their players and to the team and to the coaches that they need to be successful. But then also it gives the coaches time back to go and do what they want to do. And that's coach and mentor kids and spend time with their families without chasing money and checks and waiting and doing this and, all this other stuff that goes on. So, that's why we say we make the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time, and that allows coaches to go coach.
There you go. I want to thank you for the opportunity. I want to thank your staff for allowing me to come sit down here and speak with some coaches, and y'all been friendly all day, so an opportunity of a lifetime. So thank you and your staff and Fundraising University.
Yeah, glad you're here. Glad you're here. So
here we go. I don't know, you doing that tomorrow, today, you picking the winners. So
yeah, tomorrow people can still come by, register for the 2 $1,000 equipment grants.
Okay.
Once this is over, we'll put all the people that registered their teams into a random generator, and we'll pick 2, and then we'll post it online, obviously, but we'll contact the coaches directly, and then we'll go and hand deliver the check to the coach.
Okay.
And we'll let them know, they won, and we'll hand deliver the check to the coach like we do every single time. Hand deliver the checks.
There you go. You heard it from the man himself. And anyone that is interested in Fundraising University for a future fundraiser, how do they go about getting a hold to you yourself or one of your reps in the state of Louisiana?
Yeah, I mean, we're all over the state, and now we're along the Gulf Coast. I mean, we are the number 1 fundraising company in America for team sports, specifically in Louisiana. If you want to contact us, you could go to fundraisingu.net and just fill out the form on there. Just ask a coach. At this point, if you ask a coach has our number at this point. We've helped so many teams across the state. We're easy to find. Isn't that what Dion said? I'm not hard to find.
There you go.
But yeah, we may not be the best option, but for coaches that are looking for the best for their teams, it's worth a conversation. And there's dozens and dozens and dozens of teams across the state that this is the only fundraiser they do, and we make enough money for the whole season for them to get more than what they need. So you can go to fundraisingu.net. Obviously, you can find us on social media, fundraisingu LA, or just ask a coach that we've worked with, and I'm sure they're glad to give you the number, unless you're a district rival and they don't want you to have those resources. So that's happened a couple of times. So, but anyway, yeah, thanks for being here. Appreciate all the coaches stopping by our booth. We will be here tomorrow again. Come by. We'd love to have a conversation to see how we can help your program and take your program to the next level.
There we go. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks to Fundraising University. Thanks to the LHSA for the coaching clinic, all the coaches that stopped by. And we will see everyone next time. Have a great rest of your evening, ladies and gentlemen. And thanks to my good friend right here, Stuart, for the opportunity.